Lesson 2, Grammar Note section. Welcome to this grammar section of 20 Minute Setswana. I'm very pleased to have Mr. Johan Zarvik from the University of the Northwest. Welcome, Mr. Johan Zarvik.
Pleased to meet you all, and I hope we'll make this Setswana very enjoyable to all of you.
I hope so too. Now, Mr. Zarvik, is it correct to say you are the head lecturer at the University of the Northwest Potchefstroom campus? Or
Well, not a head lecturer, but a senior lecturer for the past 20 years of Setswana at the university.
Johan is here to help us with these little grammar note sections, and he will be our grammar guru throughout 20 Minute Setswana. Okay, so Johan, my first question is, Mpho and I were talking about letsatsi le lentle, for example. Now, I know that letsatsi is a day, and lentle in this context means a beautiful day or a good day. What would be the best translation?
Letsatsi le lentle, beautiful day.
Beautiful day.
That's it.
Okay. Now, we've been talking a little bit before this lesson. So what you explained to me is that this adjective lentle is actually, there are two words within that. The le is sort of a prefix, and the actual adjective is just the ntle, the intle.
That's it. You can use any noun that you find in all the noun classes, and from that noun, you take the first two letters and you add it to ntle.
Okay.
Ntle, that means beautiful.
Okay, I understand, because letsatsi starts with le, and ntle is the adjective. So what you add is the first two letters of letsatsi, which is le. You add that to the adjective, and then it becomes lentle.
That's 100%.
What do we call this le? Is it just a prefix or
The noun prefix,
Okay.
what you call it.
Oh, you call it the noun prefix. Okay. Now, this is my next question, because obviously there's a le in between here, and when translating back and forth from English to another language or vice versa, some things get lost and some things get added. So when we say letsatsi le lentle, what is this first le exactly? What does that mean?
That first one is that is. Letsatsi le lentle, the day that is beautiful.
Okay. So that's the best way of translating it back into English. The le sort of has these two words implied within it.
100%.
That is. So what you're literally saying is day that is beautiful.
100%.
What do we call this le, by the way?
The adjective particle.
Okay. So this is the adjective particle, all right? So you have a noun, then you have an adjective particle, then you have the prefix, which comes from the noun. We call it the noun prefix.
That's it.
And then you have like a root. Let's call it a adjective
Yeah,
root.
that's the adjective root.
Okay.
100%.
So we have four things happening at the same time, which is quite strange for an English Afrikaans speaker, but I guess it's something you get used to.
Yeah, because it's the whole grammar system is built on that noun. So if you know the noun and the class prefix of the nouns,
Okay.
it makes the whole grammar system of Setswana fall into place.
Okay. All right. Let's talk quickly about this noun class system. Okay. So now what I've heard is that there are 9 noun classes.
Some would call it 9 classes,
All right.
but some would call it 18 classes.
18 classes.
Yeah, you see, then they number the singulars and the plural 1 and 2.
Oh, I understand.
That's
So
how the numbering is done.
We'll call it 9 classes.
That
Okay.
would be fine.
And let's just give an example to the listeners. So let's take the first class, for instance.
The first class is also known as the human class.
Okay.
Like, for instance, when you have Mushimani, a son,
Okay.
and sons would be Bashimani.
Oh, okay.
So you just take the first 2 letters
Yes.
and you replace it with the plural. The mo, you
Okay.
replace it with ba. So
Okay.
Mushimani, the plural is bashimane.
Moto, I think, is person.
Yeah, motu is a person.
So it becomes
Batu. So you
okay.
replace the mo with the ba, and you have the singular and the plural.
All right.
The singular plural in Setswana, if you study the classes, it becomes much easier than most languages.
Okay, well, that's good news. Now, this is the first class. Do we call it the mo ba class? Or
The mo ba class, you call it according to that two prefixes.
okay. So in this case, the noun prefix that we were talking about earlier, like letsatsi lelentle, that noun prefix is le because
That's it. So letsatsi would fall in the le ma class.
Okay, so that's a different class.
Yeah, it's in a different class because that means day. So letsatsi is one day,
Okay.
but matsatsi is days.
Okay, then it becomes plural, obviously.
That's it.
Let's for instance say I want to say beautiful person, like letsatsi lelentle. We had that root adjective, which was ntle.
That's it.
Now what happens?
When you have motu and you want to say a beautiful person, you would say motu yo muntle.
Okay, all right. So let's break this apart quickly. We have moto, which is person, and obviously the first two letters in this word is mo, moto. Okay, so we have our noun prefix right there.
That's more, yes.
Okay, then you added this linking word. I think you said yo. So
Particle.
So once again, in this yo, it is implied that is.
That's it, 100%.
Okay. In other words, we have moto, yo, that is, and then we have ntle. Now, I'm going to take a guess. We're going to add to the ntle, we're going to add the mo, so it becomes montle.
Montle.
It's actually
so if you take the sun that we had, mushimani,
Yes.
it's mo mushimani yo muntle,
Okay.
a beautiful sun.
And let's quickly change that to plural, because it's moto is person, but bato are people.
Batu, yes, batu becomes batu ba bantle.
Okay, I see the pattern. All right.
Yeah, as soon as you get that pattern, it becomes much easier.
It's actually not that difficult. When you first said there are 9 classes, I thought to myself, how on earth are we going to get a grip on this language? But it's sort of like a rhythm.
Those links, they mess up people's minds because they don't know what these links are.
Yes.
But as soon as you get into the noun classes,
Yes.
the links become easier.
Yes, and we're obviously going to touch on this more and more as we continue with these lessons. And I'm sure the listeners will be speaking Setswana in no time. Now, one more question I had is the sentence of beke e etlang, which means next week. Once again, obviously one sees that there are linking words in between, this e etlang.
The meaning is close to the same. Now you use a verb. You use tla.
Okay,
So tla means come.
that's the verb for to come.
That's it.
Would it be correct to say khotla means to come?
Khotla, to come.
Okay.
So when you use it together with a noun,
Yes.
you say letsatsi le tlang. The particles, they are the same,
I understand.
but in the place of the lintle, now you have a verb.
A verb. It's not an adjective anymore. It's a verb.
It's yes. So the one is an adjective, and the one is called a verb relative
A verb relative.
or a relative verb. You
Okay.
use a verb, and it gets an ing added to it.
Added to it. That's what I wanted to ask because tla was the verb, and now you said tlang.
That's it.
Okay.
So what it then means, if you have letsatsi le tlang, it means the day that is coming,
Okay.
or the coming day.
Yes,
You can
the next
translate
day.
it. Yeah, the next day.
Okay.
So you can see immediately the grammar system, the one looks like the other. We used mushimani also in the previous lesson. So if you have mushimani,
Yes.
the sun that comes,
Yes.
mushimani yo otlang.
Okay.
It's a moba class
That's right.
noun. The next one is the particle or the link, mushimani yo,
That's right.
and then that next particle as the subject concord or the subject morpheme.
Okay, which we'll get into later.
That we
Okay.
will get to. So you have mushimani yo u klang.
Okay, so,
So tla plus the
NG.
relative ng, yes.
now once again, I see 4 things happening at the same time. It's the noun, which is moshimani. Okay, then it's the linking word yo, which is once again translated as that is.
That is, yes.
Okay, then you have this a subject morpheme. Is that correct?
That's it.
The or, which we'll get into later, and then you have a verb with the ng added to it. So it's actually 5 things happening at the same time. I just want the listeners to know that when learning a new language, at first it seems like a very daunting task to overcome, but you get used to this. And
It's a system.
It's a system.
If the system clicks in, or you realize what the grammar parts are,
Yes.
then it gets easier and easier. And
Yes.
with Setswana, it's even better. You use the same particle in different noun groupings.
What I understand, once you've learned these linking words, they repeat themselves
Yeah, they
throughout the
are the
grammatical
same.
system. Mr. Zarek, thank you so much for having joined us today. We'll see you next week with a grammar section. Go fitlhela nako e e tlang.